I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish?
Number 20, Burt Reynolds by Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald can make us laugh by doing just about anything, but his Burt Reynolds impression is particularly legendary.
Burt, can you please pick a category? Pick shorts.
Yeah, sure, give me swords.
It's S-words. It's S-words. And for how much, Mr. Reynolds?
Hell, let's go nuts. Swords for $48,000.
Macdonald lampooned Reynolds, or should we say Turd Ferguson, in the first ever iteration of the Celebrity Jeopardy series on SNL, and returned as the character 8 times throughout the show's run.
Hey, check out the podium. Look at this.
Mr. Reynolds has apparently changed his name to Turd Ferguson.
Yeah, that's right. Turd Ferguson. It's a funny name.
He played him as an over-the-top cool guy with not so much in the noggin, who gets a kick out of his own half-witted quips. It's hard to say that this portrayal is accurate to the actor's real-life intelligence, but it became an iconic impression nevertheless.
Mr. Reynolds!
Yeah, don't bother. I didn't write anything.
Good work.
Number 19, Kendall Jenner by Gal Gadot. In a spoof of the E! lineup, this sketch takes a look at potential spin-offs for shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. These include one for Kendall Jenner with an entertaining impression from Gal Gadot.
I'm under a lot of pressure.
So much pressure.
You're prettier than me.
No way. You're so much prettier than me.
Wait, which one am I?
The Wonder Woman star portrays the model as clueless, remaining in a constant state of confusion about her life. Gadot also appears in another hilarious show about Jenner trying to find her way around a house.
Hello? The house is so big and empty, and she's only there 2 weeks out of the year.
Is this the bathroom?
Damn, closet again.
With off-the-wall concepts, the writers explore the character through the stereotype of a shallow celebrity. Whether or not you think it's accurate, you'll probably laugh as you watch the performer get completely lost in the role. Number 18, Brett Kavanaugh by Matt Damon. For this cold open, the show called in a movie star to channel the energy of Brett Kavanaugh. Matt Damon's take on the Supreme Court justice starts in a loud and hilarious way.
Oh, hell yeah. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna start at an 11. I'm gonna take it to about a 15 real quick.
Referencing the man's apparent love of beer, Damon turns his target into a frat boy with a harsh tone. He also brings out real references to the hearing that include props like a calendar. Riding an emotional roller coaster, the Oscar winner takes the impression through screams and even some crying spells.
Look at my calendar. And you're gonna see that every night I was lifting weights with PJ and Squeeze.
It might even be accurate in places, but ultimately it becomes an enjoyable caricature. Number 17, Kathie Lee Gifford by Kristen Wiig. If you were to believe this impression of the Today Show host, you'd think she was drinking all the time. Kristen Wiig's hilarious take on Kathie Lee Gifford is heavy on the wine in a cartoonish way.
I'm Kathie Lee Gifford, and I am like so menopausal. And I'm Hoda Kotb. Hoda Kotb. God, I am never gonna get past that weird name. Huh? What? It's weird.
Lovable and clumsy, this version of the presenter feels like a fantastic train wreck. This imitation of Gifford slurs her words and constantly questions her actions, making faces along the way. Wiig's lighthearted jabs at the TV personality make her an unfiltered mess.
Potent potables? I'm sorry, I don't know what that is.
It's about alcohol.
Oh, in that case, I'll take potent potables.
For how much?
How about a glass full, right?
It's not exactly flattering, but it is a clear example of the SNL star's power as a comedian. Number 16, Joe Biden by Jason Sudeikis. Back during his time as the vice president, Joe Biden was impersonated on SNL by Jason Sudeikis. The actor's take on the politician was of a slightly confused man with prominent teeth.
Large and in charge. The president's away, and Joe will play.
He also leans into the VP's more embarrassing side, talking without a filter most of the time. Sudeikis also references the fact that most people in Biden's previous position are forgotten. There's also his frequent mentioning of Scranton, just one of the ways the character uses to try and connect with the general public.
It's just a corrupt, barren, backwater hellhole of a place. I mean, it's worse than Scranton.
Ultimately, the show chose to portray the leader as an uncle who can't always state his message well. Jim Carrey would later capitalize on this idea, taking the impression on the 2020 campaign trail.
Look, here's the deal. Nope, lost it. Come back to me.
Number 15, Hillary Clinton by Kate McKinnon. For the 2016 campaign season, Kate McKinnon brought out a killer Hillary Clinton impersonation.
I'm sure I will face some stiff competition from my fellow Democrats. People like Martin O'Malley, who could really give me a run for my money.
The caricature delves into the politicians' attempts to connect with the youth vote. This includes campaign announcements and advertisements, most of which give off an awkward mom energy. There are also debates against the likes of Alec Baldwin's Trump that devolve into rants from McKinnon's Clinton.
And then I was Secretary of State, and I don't know if you've heard this before.
We have.
But I was instrumental in taking down a man by the name of
Osama bin Laden.
Osama.
The performer always knocks it out of the park with excellent comic timing. Whether she's about to freak out or trying desperately to hold it together, this take on the former Secretary of State is obsessed with winning the presidency. Number 14, Julia Child by Dan Aykroyd. For those that love Dan Aykroyd, they might not have originally envisioned him as Julia Child. The performer provides a funny spoof of the chef's cooking show.
Welcome! I'm Julia Child. Today we're going to make a holiday feast, or les fêtes d'holiday, and we're going to start with half-bone chicken.
Instead of showing her as a cooking expert, Aykroyd plays her as a clumsy TV personality. He puts on a wig and a dress, creating an outrageous take on Child's voice. The best part of the interpretation comes when a knife chops part of the host's hand.
Now I've done it. I've cut the dickens out of my finger. Well, I'm glad in a way this happened.
With blood flying everywhere, the comedian has no fear of making his real-life counterpart look crazy. This doesn't stop the sketch either, as the SNL legend brings some physical comedy to this impression. Number 13, Ross Perot by Dana Carvey. Dana Carvey's expertise with impressions gives this take on Ross Perot a memorable quality. He definitely nails the voice, while also turning up the dial on the presidential candidate's unique mannerisms.
Now, I want to focus on the issues in this campaign, but it seems these people in the press want to focus on my business practices or some fella I might have fired or my physical appearance, my ears.
The character can turn any campaign speech into a one-man show with wild proposals and metaphors. In any situation, this version of Perot provides hilarious observations about anything and everything. He even appears in a Halloween sketch where he criticizes kids in their costumes, showing that there's absolutely no barrier between what he thinks and what he says.
If you're a witch, where's your broom?
We just want some candy.
I asked you a question. A witch rides a broom. Where's your broom? No broom, no candy. Goodbye.
Carvey once again proves that an exaggerated accent and even some dancing go a long way. Number 12, Barbara Walters by Gilda Radner. In the first several seasons of the show, Gilda Radner impersonated legendary interviewer Barbara Walters. Well, technically she's called Baba Wawa, but we all know who she's parodying.
Hello, I'm Baba Wawa, and welcome to Baba Wawa at Lodge. We are indeed lucky to have as our guest tonight.
This version of the presenter makes for an over-the-top and enjoyable experience every time. Radner gives Walters a unique way of pronouncing certain consonants, making every interview segment extra interesting. This comes out with interviewees that range from Henry Kissinger to Marlene Dietrich.
Tell us your secret of perpetual youth.
I get massaged regularly. And I have had everything lifted.
You mean you've had your legs lifted?
Everything.
The SNL cast member wears a smile through every sketch as she plays the journalist like a cartoon. You could call it more of a mean caricature, but it's such an exaggerated character that you have to laugh. Number 11, Bill Clinton by Phil Hartman. Arguably one of the most versatile performers in SNL history, there is nothing Phil Hartman couldn't do.
We simply must draw the line somewhere. We cannot pay for everything. For example, cooties are covered, but not the heebie-jeebies.
His run as Bill Clinton in the 1990s is full of gems that are still quoted today. Spoofing the president's relationship with his wife, Hartman's performance exaggerates the Bill and Hillary dynamic with comedic results.
Is that about it?
So far, yeah.
Oh, boy.
He's able to use the politician's charisma and use it against people like in the famous McDonald's sketch. This version of Clinton loves fast food and slick speeches that seem to be all jumbled together. The comedian utilizes all of the best cliches about politics, giving this interpretation an inflated ego and a speech for any occasion. Number 10. Justin Bieber by Kate McKinnon. Yes, this impersonation is savage, but McKinnon's self-professed method behind pulling off the perfect Justin Bieber impression isn't exactly a compliment to the singer either.
It's looking like a puppy who just piddled and is sort of sorry about it.
Both the physicality of the role and the dialogue are hilarious to watch, as McKinnon nails the young pop star's cockiness with pouts and poses while perfectly undercutting that image with some particularly childish lines and actions.
Steve, I don't party as much because I'm a man now. I got like 5 little mustache hairs, and I'm bringing them all for you, girl.
It might be an exaggerated impression, but it's absolutely without fault from a comedic standpoint, proving once again that McKinnon's comedy skills know no bounds.
I couldn't afford a hotel room because I'm like a poor carpenter or something. I don't know.
Number 9. Kanye West by Chris Redd. All eyes turned to SNL when we learned of Kanye's meeting with the 45th president, and boy did they deliver.
Yeah, that's right. I flew here using the power of this hat.
Chris Redd had big shoes to fill in taking over this role from Jay Pharoah, and he did not disappoint. His impression is uncanny, perfectly capturing everything from Kanye's intonation and mannerisms to the unpredictability of what he might say or do next.
And I don't want to brag, bro. I don't want to brag, but I really have a high IQ. I'm a stable genius. I got a big brain, and I got the best words.
SNL didn't have to look too far for inspiration for this sketch either, as the material pretty much writes itself. However, Redd's hilarious impression just reminds us that a chat with Ye can be a tad surreal. Number 8. Kellyanne Conway by Kate McKinnon. SNL may have been ruthless with their Kellyanne Conway impression, but there's no denying it got people talking.
I love Trump and I believe in Trump, and the reason I joined his campaign is because I thought that he's going to be president for all people.
Really? That's really what you thought?
Mm-hmm, yes, that's what I thought.
Kellyanne has the tiresome job of excusing all of President Donald Trump's outrageous behavior, and McKinnon does an impeccable job of dodging questions and inventing her own narrative, as Conway often seems to do. Audiences have seen the job take its toll on McKinnon's Kellyanne over the last few years, culminating in a Fatal Attraction-style sketch that some claim went a step too far.
What if I do a free commercial for Ivanka's shoes? Live on air.
But if anyone sums up the media madness surrounding the Trump administration, it's Kellyanne Conway, and McKinnon has her down to a T.
Okay, so Puerto Rico actually was worse before Hurricane Maria, and the hurricane actually did blow some buildings back together, and I don't know why Elizabeth Warren won't tweet about that.
Number 7. Janet Reno by Will Ferrell. This one has a weird premise, with Will Ferrell playing the former Attorney General hosting a teen dance show in her basement. Ferrell plays her as a powerful force to be reckoned with, highlighting her strongest assets and personality traits.
So how does it feel to be interviewed by the Attorney General of the United States? The job you only dreamed about having. It must feel like crap.
Even surrounded by dancing teens, this Reno doesn't let up from her role as Attorney General, and her special guests only add to the hilarity. Maybe having Will Ferrell prance around in a dress, dancing awkwardly and emphasizing a manly quality isn't the most respectful way to portray her, but she reportedly took it well, even becoming a fan.
You box dirty! Then how comes my conscience is so clean?
Number 6. Monica Lewinsky by Molly Shannon. When Monica Lewinsky made headlines in the 90s, SNL decided to turn away from the obvious Lolita parody and instead present us with an immature young lady who simply got caught up in the whirlwind of politics.
And you know, I can only give my exclusive interview to one person, you know? I mean, It's not like sex.
No.
It's not like sex.
Not only does Molly Shannon's portrayal of her often collapse into nervous giggling, she also comes across as self-centered, attention-seeking, and not particularly concerned with the consequences.
For breakfast, I can have a couple of peaches and a cruller.
It was a pretty unforgiving impression at the time, and it hasn't aged gracefully, making it even more brutal in hindsight. Number 5. Sean Spicer by Melissa McCarthy. It was almost a shame when Sean Spicer left the White House, as it brought an end to Melissa McCarthy's hilariously brutish impression.
When I say Rocky Start, I
I mean it in the sense of Rocky the movie because I came out here to punch you in the face.
The president reportedly didn't like a woman playing a man in his administration, which egged SNL on into bringing us Kate McKinnon's unforgettable impression of ex-Attorney General Jeff Sessions.
Now that's a recall and response column. That's my catchphrase.
Yeah.
Catchphrase.
However, McCarthy's Spicer takes the spot on our list for her loud, angry, and boisterous impression, and constant willingness to wage war with the media. While Spicer took it well, he also thought McCarthy could tone it down a notch. Number 4, Sean Connery by Daryl Hammond. Celebrity Jeopardy is one of Saturday Night Live's most beloved sketches, and Daryl Hammond's unforgettable performance as Scottish actor Sean Connery played a huge role in cementing its place both in SNL history and our hearts.
Well, the game is afoot. I'll take anal bum cover for $7,000.
For some reason, Hammond's Connery is crude, brutish, antagonistic, and like all of his opponents, somewhat dim-witted.
One's a sick duck. I can't remember how it ends, but your mother's a whore.
He deliberately mispronounces phrases and always has a your mom joke on hand for disapproving Alex Trebek, played by Will Ferrell. We're not sure what Connery did to deserve this, as the impression is far from flattering, but we wouldn't have it any other way.
I'll take whore ads for $200.
Number 3, Donald Trump by James Austin Johnson. With one of the most impressive performances in recent SNL history, James Austin Johnson has been knocking it out of the park as Donald Trump. His vocal inflections and rambling feel almost too accurate at times, while still being completely silly.
Make no mistake, what the radical-led Democrats are doing to me is worse than any crime I've ever committed, and I've committed a lot. Close to 34.
It's so precise in those aspects that the over-the-top dialogue almost sounds like actual transcripts. Johnson goes on rants about everything from politics to pop culture, throwing out opinions about celebrities that are especially hilarious.
You know what? Speaking of new rules, Dua Lipa is one of our best singers. And frankly, in terms of singer, you can't do better than Dua Lipa.
The show knows how to tackle the former president's cadence, while still leaving room for this performer to unleash so many crazy lines. This interpretation feels like the perfect mix of absurdity and reality, coming after notable impressions from Daryl Hammond and Alec Baldwin.
I'd like to start by answering the question that's on everyone's mind. Yes, this is real life. This is really happening.
Number 2, Sarah Palin by Tina Fey. SNL is great at nailing political parodies, and Tina Fey's portrayal of former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin was such a hit that it won her an Emmy for her efforts.
I'd also like to give a shout out to the third graders of Gladys Woods Elementary who were so helpful to me in my debate prep.
Fey pokes fun at Palin's beauty pageant days, lack of political prowess, and misplaced use of colloquialisms, wrapping it all up in an accent and voice that drills itself into your head. Fey has reprised this role on several occasions, even in front of former Governor Palin herself. It's all in good fun, of course, and never fails to make us laugh, but it is undeniably one of SNL's most savage and memorable impressions.
All Palin all the time until 2012 when I haven't decided what I'm gonna do, but I'm probably gonna run for president.
Number 1, George W. Bush by Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell's George W. Bush comes across as likable, while simultaneously reminding audiences of all the reasons why George W. Bush was so controversial and heavily criticized.
There was utterly no legal or military justification for this strike.
He portrays the former president as dopey, simple, and painfully misinformed. The accent, language, and mannerisms all feel incredibly accurate. And adding insult to injury, this goofy portrayal rarely failed to make audiences laugh.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. I'm gonna find you and make you love me. That's a little something from the Fugees.
The Bush presidency was also a perfect opportunity to bring back Dana Carvey, who nails pretty much any impression, but whose overblown George Bush Sr. will always hold a special place in both the SNL archives and our hearts.
What about Social Security?
Should be very social and very secure. Slip sliding, slip sliding.
Did we forget a savage impression? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, I found this backstage. Oversized hat. It's funny.
No, it's not.
Sure it is. It's funny. It's funny because it's bigger than a normal hat.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.